Hello again for another rundown of all the horse racing news from the week just past. In the studio with us we have David Trotter from the Equestrian Legal and Ethics Committee. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you for having me.
David, tell us your thoughts on the recent revelation that in the 2:30 handicap at Chester over the weekend, the Japanese horse that narrowly won the race was found to have had a rhinoplasty procedure on her nose to lengthen it by a couple of centimetres, which in the end turned out to be sufficient to win the race.
Yes, a truly charming story, that one.
Really? Well, we were left wondering whether the code of ethics had been broken in the horse racing world, or whether this is just the nature of things to come as technology is recruited to exploit an edge.
Well, we've gone back to the rules of the 1892 Horse Riding Almanac and had a very good look to see if anything specifically states that alterations to the facial structure of the horse are allowed or disallowed, and I'm afraid there's nothing of any note to suggest that foul play had occurred.
David, you have actually spent some time with the mare, as you're a friend of the trainer. Surely you've been outraged by this. I mean, this practice is frankly tantamount to animal cruelty, isn't it?
Well, we must remember to respect the rights of our horses.
Well, that's exactly my point.
But hang on a moment. Any mare who is dissatisfied with her appearance for any reason is well within her rights to undergo minor cosmetic corrections.
That's ridiculous, David. Clearly the horse in question had no say in the matter.
Well, Matthew, let's not jump to conclusions here. Logically, the decision may have been taken alone by either the trainer or the mare, or perhaps in some form of collaboration.
Collaboration? With the horse, I suppose? And how exactly would the horse have expressed its opinion?
Well, I know this horse very well, and she has always been very shy, bowing her head low in public and the likes. And I suspect this underlies a sense of shame about the characteristic button nose she has had since a pony and runs in the family. I saw her after the race, as a matter of fact, and she seemed very chuffed, not only with the result of the procedure aesthetically, but, of course, with the result of the race itself. It was really lovely seeing her hold her head so high.
Yeah, whatever, David. I think a precedent should be set here, or else these practices are going to become far more commonplace. The horse doping agency is becoming more successful at curbing the use of performance-enhancing drugs, and so maybe this is the new method of physical enhancement.
But this isn't the first instance of a change in a horse's appearance. In 1982, they tried to ban shaving after Terry Pendleton, a trainer and keen recreational cyclist, allegedly had the legs of his horse shaved just before the race in an attempt to reduce wind resistance down the home straight. I was, in fact, called in to arbitrate on that case.
Well, I hadn't heard of that one before. What was the verdict?
Well, apart from raising the eyebrows of some of the older establishment due to the slightly racy appearance of the horse's legs, it wasn't deemed to pose a distraction to the other jockeys nor their horses.
But why wasn't the trainer barred for professional misconduct?
Well, we successfully argued that given the horse's confident and outgoing personality, it was more likely she had presented herself that way, especially for the race.
Yes, David, of course you did. So you're saying they didn't outlaw the practice of shaving?
Well, no. It didn't prove to be much of an advantage. Just after the third furlong, the poor horse veered off swiftly, lay down and proceeded to scratch wildly at her thighs with her hooves.
Right. That's it. I'm going.
Did I say something?
Oh, shut up, David.